to me, that is the clue that she is not trying to rehabilitate her brand by sorting things out differently, and Harry goes his way and she goes hers as far as how we're going to get the brand to work for us as a unit. If you say, I'm really excited about investing in these things because I'm excited about this season where I'm investing in me. Investing in me, that's a very singular statement. That doesn't sound like somebody who is preparing to, create an even more robust life for you, your husband, and your imaginary kids. Hello, how are you? Welcome to my channel. My name is Cheer Denise. My name is Cheer Denise. Anyway, my name is Cheer Denise, and we are going to talk today about Meghan and Harry. Meghan and Harry are one of those topics that will always pay my bills, right? It's coming to the end of the month, time to do a Harry and Meghan video. But it's hard sometimes with them because they don't do a lot of things. People are constantly picking over their lives because they, like me, have found out that a Harry and Meghan video will instantly get clicks. But they're regurgitating things from like 5 years ago. Look at the way she looked at him with weird eyes. Isn't she crazy? She might be psychotic. It's like, well, we've established that. But there are times when Harry and Meghan do things, it's like, okay, let's discuss. Since we have discussed them before in this channel, they are going to be a recurring theme. But I will never make a video for you unless something has happened that is worth our conversation. And today I want to talk about, are they getting a divorce, or is this separate lives thing that they're doing, is that an attempt to rehabilitate their pathetic and dying brand? There was an article in the Daily Express recently where there was a PR expert named Renee Smith who was talking about the fact that she thinks the Sussex brand has always been sort of a cripple because they tried to stuff so many things into it, and that potentially Harry and Meghan's best chance at rehabilitating themselves is to go their separate ways, because Meghan's vision for what she'd like to invest in and Harry's vision of what he wants to invest his time in is so radically different. So perhaps it is a good thing that they're going their separate ways, and can maybe, like, Harry's got his life and his thing, and Meghan's got her life and her things, and their separate lives isn't necessarily indication that things are over. It's just that they're trying to figure out a different way and a better way to handle their life and their investments and things like that. That's a rather charitable view, because we all saw this thing, going over a cliff on day one, right? And all of us have just been like, time's ticking. Quite frankly, this relationship has lasted much longer than I had ever given it any hopes for. And if Harry had anywhere else to go, this would have been over a long time ago. The thing is that his family, whether they'd be willing to forgive him or not, Harry, I think, is too afraid to make a move that way because he knows everything he does is scrutinized. Even if his family had open arms for him, and we're like, please come back, please come back, please come back, I don't know that he would, because I think that at this point, he's like, I've made my bed, I'm gonna lie in it, And he does have to lie in it. But the thing is that his family, they don't have open arms. They're completely hostile. Recently, William did a documentary and barely mentioned Harry. All he said was, one time, my mom brought Harry and I to a homeless shelter, and that was quite an experience for me. And that made news. People were like, oh, can you believe it? William said his name. William said Harry. That's the first time in 5 years. Ever since that time when they all four of them sat on the stage and they were going to be the Fab Four, Meghan was wearing her dark colors and Catherine didn't follow suit. And, Meghan was speaking up for Me Too. That's the last time we've really ever seen them together. That's the last time William was ever associated with his brother. And now, lo and behold, he just said Harry's name. Could it be a reconciliation? It's like, you guys, that's not a reconciliation. It's him talking about his life. And his brother was a part of his life. He said, one time my mom took me and my brother to a homeless shelter, and that was an eye-opening experience for me. Let's not get too excited about that, right? But that's how badly things are going with his family. So he's got nowhere to go. And, of course, there's the question of, well, Christmas is coming. Is he going to go and visit his family for Christmas? Would he try to go see them? Would he try to bring the children to go see his family? Well, no, because Meghan won't go, But now that they're living these separate lives, would he deign to go under the guise of creating his own sort of brand? Because I really feel like that's the way they're going to end up dividing things. This hopeful statement by this Renee Smith who says, well, I think that potentially this is just them trying to rehabilitate their brand. No, I don't think so. I think that this is what they're doing to live their separate lives and to have an excuse for why we're going to suddenly see Harry on one side of the globe and Meghan on the other. But let's talk for a minute about what their investments have been. Say they aren't getting separated. Say they really are just trying to resuscitate their brand. So Meghan's going to do her thing and Harry's going to do his. Let's look at the things that they have invested their time and energy into, and ain't nothing going to resuscitate this brand. Because Meghan was recently in the news where she decided to invest in yet one more ridiculous niche market. I know that Meghan's all about women's empowerment, investing in small women-run businesses. I'm all about the women. The things that she picks, I'm just like, but could you get an advisor? Do you have anybody helping you? Or is it just word of mouth, somebody willing to take your dollars? And so you're hustling over. Recently, she was seen at this party for this hair care brand. And the hair care brand's called Highbrow Hippie. And the woman is a woman of color, and she's done celebrity hair for years and years. And apparently, Meghan says that until I met her, I was literally dyeing my hair with box dyes from a grocery store. And she met this woman 4 years ago or 5 years ago, something like that. And I'm like, lady, let me tell you something right now. If you're in Hollywood, you are not doing your hair with box dyes, okay? It doesn't matter how poor you were. You'd have scraped your pennies together, driven over in your clunky little car that you say you couldn't open the doors of, so you're crawling out the hatch, and you would have gotten your hair done at a salon, okay? You are not dyeing your hair with box dyes if you're trying to get roles in Hollywood, right? You would rather not eat that week than come around looking ratchet with your clunky hair. You'd put a wig on, as we know you do, before you'd ever be putting box dyes to your head. Your whole goal in life is that everything about your appearance has to be on point, that's what you'd be doing. But anyway, Meghan claims that until she met this woman is the one who helped her with her hair. As a side note, when you look at all of the pictures of this woman with the people she's helped, I would say that she has done a hit job on these individuals. We've got Meghan over here, who clearly wears wigs. Baldy over here, she didn't help him. Then she's got Julia Roberts over here. What happened to Julia Roberts, by the way? Julia Roberts used to have awesome hair. This ain't it. Looks like she's been getting into the box dye, honestly. Anyway, Meghan decided that she wants to put her money into this. And we saw lots of videos, a week ago, of Meghan clinging onto this person like she always does. She's so clingy. Anytime she can find anybody who will let her stand next to them, she grabs onto them like it's the end of time and there's the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse coming. Anyway, it would seem that she's invested in this new hair company, and she was seen in all the pictures of this star-studded event, this exciting party, which if you ask me, it looked like it was, hosted in somebody's basement. But anyway, she was there and she made sure to be seen, and she made sure to be, very verbose and discussing how helpful this woman has been to her and how she's so excited to invest. But what I think is really interesting about this investment and all of the investments that she's been doing lately, or all of the things that we've seen her doing by herself lately, is that she said earlier in the summer that she was really excited about investing in some things because this is the season of her life in which she's going to be investing in herself. Is that the statement that somebody says who's happily married and who's doing life with their husband? To me, that is the clue that she is not trying to rehabilitate her brand by sorting things out differently, and Harry goes his way and she goes hers as far as how we're going to get the brand to work for us as a unit. If you say, I'm really excited about investing in these things because I'm excited about this season where I'm investing in me, that's a very singular statement. That doesn't sound like somebody who is preparing to, create an even more robust life for you, your husband, and your imaginary kids. Anyway, when you look at the things that she's invested in over time, there's no way she's going to rehabilitate her brand by, roping Highbrow Hippie into it. She's invested in purses. A couple of years ago, she invested in this line of purses where the bottom part of the purse is woven, I think, in Rwanda. And then they take the woven parts to Italy, and then they add in some high-end elements, some leather, et cetera, and then they sell these bags for hundreds and hundreds of dollars. They're not the worst things I've ever seen, but also I don't want to be Little Red Riding Hood taking something to grandma's house. I don't have any use for this picnic basket of a purse. I'm not trying to cosplay Little Red Riding Hood. But, these bags, she invested in them. I literally have never seen anyone carrying any of these bags. She was the only person I've ever seen carrying one of these bags. And I'm no clothes horse. Maybe everybody's carrying these bags and I'm the one that's doesn't know about it. But it doesn't seem like it was a real firm investment. It's not like it took off or something. It's not like she carried this bag and then it went viral and everybody had to have one of these Rwandan/Italian bags. I guess that was her hope, but it didn't do. Then she also invested in this like coffee product. How many coffees are on the market? Every single influencer, every single person with any podcast, everybody's like, I got coffee now. I've got coffee. Everyone drinks coffee. I got coffee. Look, you no. We've all got coffee. We can get coffee, right? We don't need another coffee. And I don't remember if the coffee was like a mushroom coffee or if it was some kind of like different kind of coffee. I feel like it was. Anyway, Oprah roped her into that and was like, you should invest in this. And so she did. Literally have never heard of that brand outside of Meghan, hawking the little coffee brand. And then, of course, she and Harry invested in this thing called ethics, in which, different companies were supposed to be able to use this service to better invest their money in like ethical things. But then it turned out that business was like questionable to the hilt. And so it was like a little on the nose to be calling it ethics. And then finally she's decided that she's going to do this American Orchard Riviera. I can never get that name right. I think that she tried to name it American Riviera Orchard, but then that couldn't be because you can't take the name of a region as the name for a company. So then she tried to like switch it around. So I think now it's American Orchard Riviera, I think. Pathetic, regardless of how she decided to name that. I mean, it's such a mouthful. Really, it's like, do you have advisors at all? Is anyone helping you? I would say no. We've invested in the dumb bags. We've invested in the coffee no one's ever heard of. We've invested in the hair care products where everybody who has used these products looks like it was a hit and run. And now you're over here with your American Orchard Riviera crap that no one's ever seen hide nor hair of. I mean, I've already done a video about how they start stuff and don't finish it. But it would appear to me that all of her investments are done like very fly by night. So a hope and a prayer, I hope this works. I heard about this, I'm going to throw some money into it, get my picture in the paper. And then I don't really care what happens after that. I mean, how could she care what happens after that? She doesn't seem to be trying hard on any of these things. We never hear about it again. She never talks about it again. It never seems to be a thing. That's what she's into. She's into women-led businesses, ethics, human rights, and social justice issues on the surface. And what has Harry been spending his time on all these years? Well, if he's had his book, he invested his time and energy in that book that was full of lies. Then he's got the Invictus Games. He's put his name on that, though everyone else has done all the work. He had the well child situation, which he continues to show up for. And then, of course, he likes to pretend that he is a person of consequence and likes to go and muck about at the Aspen Institute. A lot of people always throw that around and like, look how dangerous he is. No, the people he's with are dangerous. He is just pretending to be there and he's just like a mascot. He's just another name to, add on to their list of people that nobody cares about at the Aspen Institute. But that's what he's been up to. And they're just divergent. They're just different things. So to try to stuff them all together into one brand, the Sussex brand, it was disconnected. The article that was written about them with the PR expert Renee Smith discussing them said that the reason that they have never been able to gain any momentum with their brand is because it was always so disjointed. There was no unity. There was no purpose. They're just too scattered. And I think one of the reasons that they have not maintained any momentum is because the two of them are weird. They're a couple of weirdos. If these people were relatable on any significant level, I think people would have run to support them. They had all kinds of support at the beginning. Even when there was plenty of evidence to suggest that you should not be putting money behind these people in any way, shape, or form, there was still tons of people that were like, oh, poor Meghan, oh, poor Harry, oh, this is so hard for him. Tons of people who believe the narrative. If they had played their cards right, they would be sitting on top of Hollywood, reigning as the king and queen. They could have done it easily. But they don't seem to have any help in navigating the path forward. I don't know if it's just their hubris. I don't know if they don't take direction well. I don't know if Meghan is over there calling the shots and Harry is doing nothing except following along behind with his special gummies and not really paying much attention to what's going on in the world, just sort of taking the lead from whatever Meghan says, and she's like a terrible business leader. I don't know what's going on with them. But they do not know how to maintain any kind of momentum when they had the whole world handed to them at the beginning of this journey. And the reason people don't like them, like I said, is that they're weird. Recently, here was an event for the children of fallen soldiers. And that sounds awesome. And I love that he would support something like that. That is really wonderful and profound. But the little goodie bags that he handed out to people were bags of literal trash. I'm not even kidding with you. Look at this picture that somebody took of the little goodie bag that was given to the children at this event that was sponsored by Harry and Meghan. That is not even anything you would want. If you're going to give out little goodie bags to these kids, which is a fun and great, fantastic idea, let's give out little fun prizes to the kids. Why don't we put in some things that they would want? Like, it doesn't have to be anything, I'm not saying like hand everybody, a video game console, but how about something other than a Mary Jane chew or whatever that trash is? What is this? This is junk. No thank you to the roll of Smarties. No thank you to the foam peanuts. No thank you to this, bit of honey. No thank you. It's like even this like clunky little bag. I just feel like everything they do is so half-assed. And this is a perfect example. They start things, they can't finish things, and then whatever they do is clunky. That's why they're losing momentum. They have money. They knew the right people. They could have done stuff with their lives. But instead, they're churning out this kind of garbage. And I don't know what Meghan's up to. I don't know if Meghan didn't have a hand in this. This truly looks like something like Harry might have pulled together. Did he go down to the Dollar General himself and make up these bags is what I'm asking you. But, if Meghan wants to be known as somebody who people want to work with, she would have gotten in there and made like these fantastic gift bags for the kids. That would have been a news story. People would have been like, oh my gosh, you would not believe how thoughtful this was, how wonderful it was that she gave these kids, a fun little token to take with them, a fun little goodie bag. If you're going to go to the hassle of getting a goodie bag up for the kids, let's do something more than throwing in a couple of Tootsie Rolls and a Dum Dum. Like, come on. Anyway, is it the end of the world that that's what he gave them? No, I'm just saying that this is why. And so their little idea to go separate ways and have separate brands potentially, y'all are going to have to separate yourself from your old ways of doing things. Old you would have given that sad little plastic bag with a Dum Dum in it. Okay, that's old you. New you is going to have bigger, better ideas. Because the brand's still going to suffer if we're investing in the same old junk, doing the same old silly things, and not showing up after we invest. You can't just show up for the photo op and think that that's enough. They have so much time on their hands. The thing is that if they were doing all that they could do to really build a brand and make a name for themselves and rule Hollywood the way they thought they were going to, we would have stories about them every single day. Because they'd be doing stuff all the time. They'd always be in the news. They'd always be on a podcast. They'd always be talking. They'd always be doing something. They don't do anything. They're lazy. They are the laziest people you've ever seen. And then they want to say that the world's against them. No, you are against yourself because you won't even work to your own ends. Anyway, this is not the most riveting video I've ever done about them, but I will just say that while I think that they are trying to spin this whole, separate identities because we're trying to help the brand, I don't buy it. Those two are getting divorced and they're going to be living separate lives and they probably aren't even going to be on the same continent. And they're going to keep trying to tell us that, oh yeah, the house that we bought in Portugal, which Harry's probably going to be living in now, that's just our vacation home. No, that's his house now because you guys are getting separated. That's where he's going to live now. That's where he's going to live now because he misses Europe and he misses his family and he misses being close to things and people that he understands. He's tired of living in Meghan's world. So their vacation home, get out of town. Vacation home, nothing. That's next to his cousin. His cousin has a house right next to him. So don't even try to tell me that this is all their vacation home and that they're just trying to do things differently. No, they're not. They're getting separated, and a divorce is imminent. And if not an outright divorce, those two are going to be doing their own thing from now on. We will probably never see them together. And they can come together and wear their little red poppies and pretend that they are, a couple that cares about, online bullying. But those two are like east to the west here. And we're just now we're just waiting for them to be honest about it. When we start seeing Meghan out with people, which I'm sure will be any day now, we're then going to start seeing Harry out with people. I promise you these two are not together. They're not. They probably haven't been together for years. But now it's just becoming more evident because they still got to make money, and so now they got to do their separate gigs. Anyway, I've prattled on long enough. We're going to keep going on with the Kennedy book for the rest of the week, and then hopefully during the holidays, either Thanksgiving or Christmas, I can get through the Mountbatten book for the 30 of you who show up for that video. Okay, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye.